Good afternoon.
Students, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay. Quite a tiring day, I feel. Okay. Continuous, you had classes. Okay. We'll wait for 2 more minutes. Those who have joined already, just go on typing present, sir. That will be easy for me for the attendance. Okay. Out of 33, 23 have said present. Those who are present, just type it in the comment section. Please write it as present. That would be helpful for me. Okay. Okay. Meantime, those who have joined, any doubts in the previous class, whatever we discussed? Any questions for me before I move to factors influencing consumer behavior? Students, soon after second unit, we'll start with the case studies. Okay. As of now, I don't want to get into case studies. The reason is we have just started the unit, the first unit. So maybe after second unit, yes, we'll start with the case studies. Okay. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Shall we start?
Yes,
Yes. No.
sir.
No. Okay. Okay. Fine. 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 We'll wait. Steven is waiting. But I am unable to get it as admit. Ask him to relog in, Steven. Please ask him to relog in. Can you please ask him to relog in, Steven? Okay. Once you say yes, then I'll start, students. Yeah, quite a tiring day for you guys. If you are running out of data, then please start now itself. Okay. The students will start.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, great. Thank you so much. Okay. In the previous class, we understood about consumerism. Then we spoke about characteristics of Indian consumer, which was an important question for the exam point of view. And now today we will understand the factors influencing consumer behavior. Factors. What are the reasons we call it as factors? Karan, we call it as factors. Okay. So today, if is it audible? Yeah.
Sir, can you please repeat?
Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
No, sir.
Okay. If my voice is sorry,
Yes, sir.
if my voice is not audible, please let me know, students. Just message, okay, so that is it audible? Clear? Crystal clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. One sec. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. Today, the previous class we understood uh, consumerism and characteristics of Indian consumers. Today we'll be understanding factors influencing consumer behavior. Okay. It has been divided into two, students. Please understand: psychological factors and socio-cultural factors. In short, in the exam, the question will be asked: explain the factors influencing consumer behavior, or else, what are the internal influence? Sorry. Okay. Okay. What are the internal influences and external influences? So such question might arise in the paper. So no worries. Okay, let's understand one by one. Psychological factors, it is totally not controlled by the marketer. It's totally under the control of the consumers or as the customers. Okay, we call it as psychological factors. If I ask now in this session, how many of you like a red color? Can you just speak out so that it will be easy for me to understand? How many of you like color red? Okay, if I say maybe one or two or else 10 or 20, red color. How many of you like this? Okay, okay, someone has, okay, okay. Okay, if I say this, psychological factors, it's a mindset of the people, it's a mindset of the customer. Okay, how the customer behaves, or how the customer, what are the customers taste and preferences. This is not controlled by the marketer. Please understand, this cannot be controlled by the marketer. No worries. Again, the extension of this we'll be doing in the next unit, which we called as Schiffman's input and output process model. Okay, what is under the control of the marketer and what is under the control of the customer, that will be understanding later part. But now let's understand psychological factors. First is internal influences. The first point over here is personality. When we talk about personality, the customer goes for buying the products as per his personality. Okay, again I repeat, the customer goes for buying the product as per his personality. Okay, now say for example, if I get a lean guy who is a weight of 40 kgs, and if he's buying a Royal Enfield 350, it is totally not going to suit his personality. Please understand. But people tend to buy. Okay, so this is something we called as personality. As per the customer requirement, as per the customer taste and preference, he goes for buying the product. He or she feels that this product is going to get a best benefit out of it, and this is going to suit my personality, and he goes for buying the product. That's what we call it as personality. Okay, the first point, is it clear, students? Any questions in first point? Because I put only single points over there, so I'm asking you any questions in the first point, personality. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the second is motivation. The customer, if he's buying any product, it should motivate him to buy the product. Only then the customer goes for buying the product, else the customer will never buy the product. Okay, now if you see this advertisement, okay, they show this advertisement very beautifully. In the advertisement, it is picturized so well, only then the customer feels happy about buying this product. Now take an example of this Surf Excel dirt is good. They show this advertisement so neat and clean in the advertisement. This baby goes into the sand, jumps around in the sand, makes his shirt dirt, everything, and he goes to his mom and he says, "My shirt is dirt." And first time in the heaven on the earth, we can see the mom is not beating the baby, and it says, "Koi baat nahi beta, Surf Excel hai na." So this is something motivates the people to buy the product. Okay, are you understanding this? Okay, because it is picturized so well in the advertisement that the customer gets delighted about the product and he goes for buying the product. Okay, say for example this Mountain Dew. Take one more example of Mountain Dew. Dar ke aage jeete. Okay, this is so well scripted in the advertisement. Okay, and this motivates the people to buy the product. But if you say this dar ke aage jeete and go for the exam drinking a Dew, Mountain Dew, and dar ke aage jeete, it totally depends on the question paper what is set, and it totally depends on the student what he has read for the exam. Only then he can write the exam. But somewhere it is picturized so well that people go on believing it, and that motivates the customer to buy the product. So again, under the control of the customer. The second point, any questions for me, students? Please let me know. The first point is personality. Second point is motivation. Always the customer should be motivated to buy the product. Only then he goes for buying the product. Because the customer will never buy the product. Clear, students? The second point. Yes, no.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, fine. The third is perception. Okay, perception is your thinking, what you think, what you perceive. We call it as perception. Okay, you take an example of Red Bull drink. Okay, if you drink this Red Bull drink, okay, it's an energy drink. The advertiser is saying it's an energy drink, and you'll get energy. Virat Kohli comes up with the advertisement saying that if you drink Boost, then you can play cricket like me. He says, and your perception, you believe it. Your perception is that you believe it. Okay, take an example, one more example. Your perception is, if Yami Gautam becomes fair within 7 days, that's a perception of the people. That is how the customer goes on believing it. We call it as perception. Okay, uh, these are the best examples to understand perception. What do you mean by perception? Okay, means the customer perceives something. He takes something out of this advertisement, something out of the product. That's what we call it as perception. His perception, he perceives this is what might happen if I use this particular product, and he goes for buying the product. Okay, 10 years guarantee of the product, or else will replace with a new product. Now the customer believes it. Okay, guarantee, he never gets into the terms and conditions of the product, but he goes for buying the product because he perceives something else. So that's what we call it as perception. Okay, any doubt in the third point, let me know, or else I'll move to the fourth point, which we call it as attitude. Clear? Then just let me know yes or no, then I can go to the next point, attitude.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. The next is attitude. Okay, whenever a customer buys a product or thinks of buying a product, his attitude is totally different. Okay, now say for example, I can plug in a very nice example would be Apple iPhone. Okay, if someone is buying an Apple iPhone, his attitude while buying the cell phone is totally different, and after buying the cell phone is totally into the heights. It is totally different. You might have observed these people who buy this iPhone. Okay, the panel cover, they make sure that the logo is seen by rest of the world, because of the attitude of the product. Because of the attitude, the customer is buying this product and using this product, his attitude totally changes because of one of the premium segment product what is buying. Okay, and because of that attitude, the customer behavior totally changes over here. Okay, clear, students? Very easy example to plug in for attitude. Okay, and the last point is learning. Okay. After every purchase and usage of the product, the customer learns something out of it. Say, for example, if you are unhappy about a particular product, then that's what we call it as a bad learning. If you are happy about the particular product, then we call it as a good learning. If you are happy about the particular product, we call it as good learning. Means you go for making a repeat purchase. If you go for making a repeat purchase. If you are unhappy, then you'll never buy that particular brand or a product. We call it as learning out of it. Okay, so these are the simple points of psychological factors. Please understand these factors cannot be controlled by the marketer. Though he tries all his efforts, he cannot control. Okay, only control is under the seller, and only control is under with the customers and not with the buyer, not with the seller. Okay, clear. Now, out of these points, 5 points, any questions for me? Let me know before I move to the
So,
external factors.
so, so can you please repeat the fifth point? I just got
Fifth point,
disconnected.
learning. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Learning. When I say, is it Srinidhi who has asked this out?
Yes, sir. So I got
Or who else?
disconnected in between.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. Not an issue. Learning, when I say Srinidhi, here, say for example, you bought a particular product. Okay, now take an example of you bought trousers or t-shirts from Big Bazaar. Let's take an example, just an example. Okay, it was an offer, buy three get one free. Okay, during this Independence Day offer or else during Republic Day, you just bought this brands from Big Bazaar, and it so
Yes.
happened that this product you used it for 2 months and it didn't reach your expectation. Will you buy this product again from Big Bazaar? It will never happen because the learning was a bad experience for you. Okay, and you'll never get into this outlet for the next time because that was a learning what the customer learned. Though the marketer says buy three get three free, still you'll never go to this brand. The reason is you had a bad experience with this outlet. Getting my point? Okay. And if the same product, if you buy it in some other outlet, and if the product comes for more than 2 years, you are the most delighted customer, and you go for repeat purchases. That's what we call it as learning. This cannot be under the control of the marketer. It can be controlled only by the customers and not under the control of the marketer. Is that clear? It's completely under the control of the customer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others, any questions? Please let me know any questions. Shall I move to the external factors? External influences? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Social cultural factors, external influences. Okay, the first is family. Okay, now we come from the social cultural factor. This is replicable only for Indian customer students. Social cultural factors or external factors, one is family. Whenever you plan to buy any product, okay, the family comes into picture first. The family says, why do you want to buy this product? Okay, is it actually required for you to buy this product? All this question comes into picture whenever you're planning to buy any product. So the first point is family over there. Okay, family plays a very important role in making the decision while buying the product. Now, take an example: if you're buying an expensive product, more than 10,000 or 20,000, the family, your parents will come into picture, or else your brother will come into picture. Your siblings, what I'm talking about, they come into picture. So the first part is that family. Second is reference. When I say the friends, we call it as reference. Okay, they are the best people to refer you any product or services. Okay, when if they buy a cell phone, or as if they buy a television or bike, these are the reference group who go on spreading the message that particular shop is good and you can go and buy the products. So that's such people we call it as reference group. If you have the handout printout, then just write it as friends are called as reference groups. Okay, then the third part is social class. Okay, social class, as per the economic conditions of the people, they go for buying the product. As per the economic conditions of the people, they go for buying the product. We call it as social class. Okay, then there is something called as culture. Okay, now in India there are many cultures in many places. Okay, as per their requirement, the customers go for buying the product. As per their culture, they go for buying the product. Now, say for example, the culture in Karnataka is very different from the culture in Goa or as in Maharashtra and in Jammu Kashmir. Okay, the products are being sold as per the culture. In Christmas, during Christmas in Goa, the sales happens huge quantities, whereas in Belgavi or else in Karnataka region, the sales are less. Okay, because of the cultural factors. Again, in culture, there is something called as subculture. Okay. Again, India is a country where it runs on the culture and subculture. Even the marketers go for selling the product as per the culture and subculture. Okay. So that's what I'm talking about, socio-cultural factors. Okay. So these are the external factors. The marketer works as per the external factors. And again, I say this is again controlled by the customers and not by the marketer, because marketer goes on producing the products, manufactures the product, but the customer buys this product because of these external influences like family, reference, social class, culture, and subculture. Okay, please go through these points. Any questions for me, please let me know, students, so that I can explain it still better. Okay, any questions, any ambiguity, please let me know. Okay, let's work on that. If yes, if no questions, then I'll move to straight away move to rights and responsibility of consumers in India. One example of culture and subculture. Yeah, very nice question. Culture. Take an example of India. Okay, the culture over here is okay. Uh, we consume food with the help of our so-called fingers. Okay, that's a culture what we have been following since long. Okay, now the subculture over here, if you take an example of different states. Okay, their subculture changes. Okay, here I don't want to get into picture of caste, creed, and something. I'm just trying to tell it in general way. Okay, the culture of India is totally different. The wear and tear of India is totally different. Okay, in that different states have got different wearing pattern, dress wearing pattern. We call it as subculture. Did I clear your doubt? Culture and subculture? Yes, no? Yes. Okay. Okay. Fine. Yes, and then good question. Yeah.
So that depends upon people's belief also, no? The subculture.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 So
Like
in the
a
initial
particular
stage, if you
day
see
they
the
don't buy.
socio-cultural factors, yeah, yeah, that falls under culture and subculture. Yes, of course, yes.
Okay.
And the main part where it affects is your family. Okay, the family plays a very important role in this. Reference groups, when I'm talking about, then it's friends. What you said is right, Srinidhi. Even that applies. Okay. Okay. Others, any questions other than Chandan? Anyone? Any questions before I move to the next part?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Shall we move to the next part? Rights and responsibility of consumers in India. Okay, I'll start with
Yes,
rights.
sir.
Okay, then we'll do responsibilities. What are the rights of consumers in India? One is right to safety. Okay, whenever you're buying any product, that is your right to ask for the expiry date of the product. It's your right to check for the expiry date of the product. Simply blindly don't buy any product, students. Just check for the expiry date of the product, only then go for buying the product. Okay, when you buy the product, please have at least 30 seconds of time to check for the manufacture date and expiry date of the product. We call it as a right to safety, the first point. Even in the example I have mentioned over there, expiry date of the product, we have to check it, and it's your right to ask for it. Okay, then second is right to be informed. Right to be informed, when I say how to use the particular product, we call it as right to be informed. The marketer has to inform you how to use this particular product. Okay, should you consume the product, it's for internal use or external use. The marketer, it's a oral use or an external use, the marketer has to mention on the packaging and the labeling of the product. That's very, very important. We call it as right to be informed. Okay, then right to choose. Okay, right to choose is choose among the alternatives. There are many people, take an example of the single brand itself, Sony as an example. They got many variants of television in Sony itself. We call it as providing alternatives. Now say for example, Sony comes out with 22-inch television, 32, 50, 49, 50, 55, 65 are the variants, different what we say alternatives the marketer is giving to the customers. Okay, so that's what we call it as right to choose. The customer should have a choice to should have an option to choose the product. Then right to seek against unfair trade. Okay, stop selling the products which are more than MRP. Now the customer has a complete right to ask the person who is selling the product, why are you selling the product more than MRP? It's your right. You can demand for it, you can ask for it if the products are being sold more than MRP. Okay, so we call it as right to seek against unfair trade. You can take one more example of counterfeit products as well. You can add that as well, counterfeit brands as well, counterfeit products. The right to consumer education. Okay, right to consumer education, when we say consumer product awareness should be given to the customer. Customer should be educated about the product. Okay, what is this product all about, how long you can use this product, and what are the benefits of the product. The marketer has to mention it. If not, the customer can ask for this awareness about this. Customer can ask for the information about this particular product. So again, I repeat: rights, right to safety, right to be informed, right to choose, right to seek against unfair trade, and right to consumer education. Now, out of these 5 points, any questions, please let me know. A very important question for 7 marks in your paper. Very, very important question for 7 marks in your paper. Both rights and responsibilities will appear in the paper clubbed together for 7 marks. Okay. Any questions? Please let me know, students. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. 2 o'clock, you got a session of finance. 2 o'clock. Students, I'm just putting it open. You want me to continue with regard to responsibilities, or should I do it in the next class? Responsibilities and duties of consumer in India. If you're running out of your data, then please let me know. Okay. Responsibilities, should I do it today? Continue. Okay, fine. Okay, 2 more, then I'll continue now. Okay, fine. Responsibilities. Sorry, in the next class. Oh my God. Tanvi, yes, sir. It means should I continue or should I do it in the next class? Continue. Okay, fine. I'll do one thing, students. I'll do responsibilities today, and duties we can do it in the next class. Duties we'll do it in the next class. Else I can wind up the unit as well. I have no issues. Vinay, just bear with me. Maybe for 4 points, and we'll be done with the responsibilities. Okay. So let's start. Responsibilities of responsibilities. Okay. What are the responsibilities of consumers in India? The first is responsibility of self-help. Responsibility of self-help is the first point. Consumers should never depend on the seller for the information and choose as far as possible. Again, a humble request, students, as an MBAs, please remember this. Never ever listen to a salesperson whenever you're going to buy any product. If you ask the salesperson which is the best product, he'll sell the product which he is going to get more commission out of it, which he is going to get more margin out of it. Never ask the salesperson which is the best product. Never ask a suggestion to the salesperson. If you are supposed to buy, which product would you buy? No, never do that. Humble request. Okay, because responsibility of the self-help. Customer should be aware of what he's buying, what product he's buying. Now take an example of I've given in the image. You can see face cream. Instead of Fair and Lovely, the Fair and Lovely is sold in the market. The salesperson straight away sells it in the market, and the customer goes for buying it because the customer is not aware about it. So the customer should be responsible enough what he's buying. Okay, that's the first point. Okay, responsibility of the self-help. Then proof of transaction. Always the customer should retain the bill of the purchases made. Whenever a customer is buying any product, he should have a proof out of it. Means he should always carry the bill payment receipt or else the proof of transaction made. Means he should ask for the demand for the bill of whatever he is buying, he or she is buying. Okay. Is that clear, students? The second point, proof of transactions. Okay. Then proper claim. Consumers should make sure that while claiming for the compensation for loss, they should not make unreasonable large claims. Okay. Please understand, whenever a customer is buying something, you should not claim for something unnecessary. Now, say for example, Bajaj Finance and insurance. Whenever you take an insurance for the product, the general insurance I'm talking about, intentionally you should not claim simply because you have paid the insurance. Okay, if it's actually required, if it's genuine, and if it's actually required, only then go for claiming the product. There are many people in India wherein they claim because they have done the insurance for the product and they go for claiming it. No, it should not happen. It should be a proper claim. Okay, if the product is really damaged, if you lost it, only then go for claiming the product. Intentionally don't do that. Okay, then proper use of product or services. When the marketer is saying, I've given an example of Sony Z series, which was on water resistance cell phone. Okay, they give the depth at what you can go, and they even they mention how to use this product. Simply you cannot do an experiment with this product. Okay, and always remember, the product should be used as per the instruction given by the marketer or else by the company. Okay, so we call it as proper use of product or services. Some customer make a rough use of the products during guarantee period, thinking that it will be replaced with a new product. The company promises, if something happens, sir or madam, immediately a new product will be given to you. Now what happens, the customer mindset is he goes on using with a rough usage because the company has promised him that he or she will be getting a new product if something happens to this particular product. So that's what we call it as proper use of product or services. So these are the 4 points. Again I repeat, a 7 marks question in your paper, students. What are the rights and responsibilities of the customer, Indian customers? So this is very very important question. Okay, what are the rights and responsibilities of Indian customers? Okay, clear? Any questions for me? Please let me know. The last point is left, duties of consumers in India. If you do that, then we are done with unit 1. Okay. If you give me 7 minutes, then I can wind up that as well. Then we'll be done with unit 1. My unit 2 handout is ready, students. I'll be sharing it quickly, very soon. Okay. Okay. Any questions in rights and responsibilities? Please let me know, students. Okay.
No,
Any
sir.
questions in rights and responsibilities? Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll do duties and we'll finish it off. Duties of consumers in India, so that we can next class we can start with a new unit. Fine. 5 more minutes and we'll wind it up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, others fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Great, good, very good. Okay. Duties of consumers in India. The first is insist on the receipt or bill without fail on all the purchases made. Always remember, students, duty, it's your customer duty. Please, a humble request. Always demand for the bill whenever you buy any product, and please retain that bill. That's a proof. That's a proof for you, because if you want to lodge a complaint, then that's a proof what plays a very important role. Okay, you can see in the image I have given a tax invoice, the original bill. Then read the information carefully on the packet before the purchases. Always go for reading the information what is given on the label. Okay, please read that information. Those who are vegetarian, just to make it understand, make it very simple. I've given over there vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Veg is put in green in color, and non-veg is put red in color. So that's the easy way the marketer gives the information. Please read those information before buying any product. If you see the ingredient of the product, few are allergic to few products. So before buying it, please read the label. Please go through the label and go for buying the product. So that's what, read information carefully on the packet before purchases. Okay. Come to the next page, students. Don't feel tempted on misleading advertisement. This is very, very important. Don't get tempted by the misleading advertisement. This so-called slim Sona slim belt, you can become slim within 1 hour, 2 hour. No, it won't happen. Okay, please understand. Okay, and what is gym and aerobics doing in the market? Please understand. What is yoga doing in the market? Okay, this is simply to trap the customers and get the money out of it. Okay, so don't feel tempted by this misleading advertisement. Never ever do this, students. As an MBA, so never think of it doing this. Okay, then buy only standardized products. Okay, many people I have seen, they buy helmets on the streets which is not ISI certified. Okay, please don't do that. Buy cooker or bike helmets which is ISI mark and not an IAS mark. There are many counterfeit brands on the streets where they sell without an ISI standardization. So never go for buying such products. Always buy a standardized products. Okay, then last is file consumer complaints against the default in the goods and services or the untrade practices. Untrade unfair trade practices. Whenever if you feel that if you are being trapped in the purchases, okay, if you have this bill, then you can straight away lodge a complaint in consumer complaint. I've given the link as well for you. Sometime if you feel that if you bought a product and the salesperson is not supporting you, the customer the seller is not supportive, and you have a complete proof with you, then you can lodge a complaint in consumercomplaints.in. Okay, consumercomplaint.in, you can straight away lodge a complaint and the strict action will be taken against him. Okay, so that's a very nice step by the government. Okay, so these are the duties of the customers. Okay, so here we wind unit 1 students. Any questions, any ambiguity, any question, even a minute question, even a minor question or doubt, please let me know. I can help you out on this, or else we wind up this unit. Any questions? Yeah, the forum is open. Students, you are following the subject. You are understanding. Am I too fast?
No,
Follow.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Something extra you need in this subject, then please let me know, students. If you're following it well and good, great. But if you want something else in this subject, please let me know. I can do that. I'll do my best possible way to fix this. Okay. Any ambiguity, any hurdle in this subject, please let me know. Okay. I'm just waiting for offline classes. I want to send you to market, and I want you to learn many things out of this. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay. Okay. If it's fine, students, if there are no questions for me, then I'll wind up. Okay. Many people are very smart. They logged in, they gave the attendance, and they just winded up. That's okay, not an issue. Okay. Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. Shall we wind up the session, or how is it? Or if there are no questions, then we'll wind up, students. Okay. Maybe today, maybe an hour or so, I'll be sharing unit 2, or else I'll share it tomorrow. Anything would be fine. My handout is ready. Okay. So I can do that. Fine. Yeah, students, if
Okay,
there are
sir.
no questions, yes, you can log out. You can leave the meeting. Yeah, you can ask to end the meeting. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. Have a good day, students. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye-bye. Take care. God bless everyone.